All right, listen, you guys. I want to tell you something from the bottom of my heart. Don't think. Don't do it. Listen, I'm going to explain almost every single one of you out there right now. You have a bunch of stuff muddling around in your head that you think about that you want. And here's what you do when you think about it. You rationalize. Everyone rationalizes. It makes sense. I get it. I do it. You need rationalization. You need logic. You need critical thinking. And that's a good tool given to us by God. However, you and your natural flesh can abuse it. Critical thinking was not given to us to slow us down. Critical thinking was not given to us to stump us and to paralyze us when we look at the facts of life. That's not what critical thinking was given to us for. Okay? Look, you have a bunch of statistics and facts that your adversary, which you think you don't have one, but you do. Okay, if critical thinking was given to you by God, stinking thinking was given to you by the adversary of God and of your soul. And so, when you are critical thinking, here's the temptation. The temptation is to be intimidated by the facts. Okay? Like I was saying, your adversary will take the statistics and all the facts and numbers, and he will cause you to crunch them in a way that weighs against you. Okay? See, here's the difference between someone who is killing the game like Mark Zuckerberg, who so respectably and honorably built a platform as a young college student or college age young man that is now making him billions of dollars. He built this platform that you're viewing this on. Here's the difference between him and the difference between those of us who are not even close. Not because they're not trying, but because they're not trying. They're letting stinking thinking get them down. Here's the difference between people like him and people like that. Like you, if that's you. It's the mind, the thought pattern, the way that he interprets and the way that you interpret statistics, facts. You see, a person who wants what they want and then they get it, they're not stumped by rejection. They're not stumped by how bad the economy is. They're not stumped by the fact that they are the minority. They're not stumped by the fact that they're short. They're not stumped by the fact that every guy is trying to get her or every girl is trying to get him and they just won't budge. Because they have the confidence to think, what if I'm in that low percentage of successful people? And they dare to do what it takes. Here's the thing. People that have achieved things and proven systems for us to model after, here's what they did. They said, this is what I want to do. This is what it takes to do it. And then they did it. That's all they did. Check this out. Most people get defeated. I won't even say discouraged because everyone gets discouraged. But most people are defeated By this one thing. It's thinking that it would be easier when you find out how hard it is to get the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams, that you may even feel in your soul that God has brought to you, or that opportunity or that business idea or that level of influence that you feel that you are supposed to have. When you look at what it takes to get there, and how much your flesh doesn't want to do what that takes, all of a sudden what you wanted doesn't seem worth it anymore. Why? Because you don't want to endure pain and struggle. You're like, I already got enough of that. I know, trust me. I'm with you in terms of feeling those things. I already got enough going on. My life is so much already. How in the world can I just add to it or subtract from it to add, in order to add to? That's an important word, order. The order of gaining is always loss first, gain second. That's the order. There is no gain first. If I could just get a little more of this, if I can just get a little more of that. And you do need to get a little bit more of this and that. But it takes you giving up something. You can never walk into a store and say, I want these macaroni and cheese noodles. Let me just take them. Yes. And walk your merry little self out. Because you have to give something in exchange for those noodles. What's that? Green paper. Green paper. You always have to give something to get. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you thought you got it for free. I don't care if you thought you didn't try or didn't have to give something. Even if someone walked up to you and said, here, I want to give you $100. You know what you gave? You gave time and energy to be in the right place at the right time. That's what you gave. Don't ever look at life, the things that you gain in life, as granted. Because there's always something on your part, no matter if you notice it or not. Now, I'm not saying that God does not bless just because He loves us. Just because we're His kids. Hey, I got you something, kid. Because you're mine. And I think you got a great future ahead of you. And here, I just want to give you this to help you. I just want to give you this because I love you. I'm not saying God doesn't do that. Because He does. However, most things you will acquire in life will come directly from the work of your hands. These two hands. And you have to learn to stop making the excuse of, and you'll never say this out of your mouth, but here's what you are essentially saying. Most of you will never say this. I've heard it said, but most people will never have the guts to admit, that's just too hard. What a poor excuse. What a poor excuse to sit around and not have the life that you were designed to live. And I'm not talking about cars and money. I'm talking about your life that you were designed to live. It's not a requirement for everyone to have this American dream, big house, white picket fence, jewelry, and whatever you think is what you're supposed to have. Some of you will give your life to the military. Some of you will give your lives to charitable causes and start successful nonprofits that will change the world. Some of you will be Mother Teresa's, who will build orphanages and just live as the least of these for your whole life in servitude that's different than the way others serve. But the fact that it's hard, that is a poor excuse not to get what you know in your heart, mind, and soul, what you should have. Be who in your heart, mind, and soul you know you should be. And in your spirit, you know that you should be. Hard. Childbirth is hard, but guess what? Your mother did it. And what is impossible, I'll leave you with this last thing. What is impossible with man, meaning mankind, what mankind finds impossible, God effortlessly does. This is what Jesus said. What is impossible to mankind is possible to God, with God, he said. Think about that. If you don't know God, I don't mean just any God. There's lots of gods. There's lots of idols and things being worshipped. There's lots of statues being worshipped and stuff. But I mean the ever living Jesus Christ. If you don't know him, I'm going to throw a bold statement out there and say you don't know why you're here. And if you know why you're here, you're not living it the way you could be if you were connected to the source of why you're here. Love, laughter, and let's say leisure, which signifies rest, peace, time to enjoy life. May laugh, love, and leisure be with you. Good night, fam.